it's interesting about Dickey. And I mean, Kev, do you think there's a case to? We spoke about this a little bit before, but personally, I think there might be a bit of a case to go to a back three now, given that the form has been so bad recently, and that they've got a lot of good options at centre back, and then you've got players playing on Sunday who didn't play that well, and then you've got good defenders sitting on the bench. Maybe there's a case for that now with Critchley coming in.
Yeah, because look, Ian's probably right what he says about Dickey. I mean, Dickey has been. How long has he been? This is his third or fourth season. His third season. If you look at it, he's been our best defender for the last 3 seasons. And there was rumours we were talking about maybe getting a move to a Premiership team in the summer if QPR wanted to raise money, and he was, one of the players that we thought could raise money to strengthen the team in other areas, i.e., like we talk about centre forwards. It'd be interesting. Yeah, Critchley will probably look at that. I mean, Ethan Laird is very attack-minded, so is Powell. So they've got the wing-backs there. You go more solid at the back. You maybe play 2 holders, and then you have Willock and Chair will be back. Well, we might not be. We'll see. We'll find out tomorrow.
Morocco win the World Cup, having not played a minute.
And then you have one up front. But if he did that, I would say we'll play 2 sort of more robust, like maybe Field, Johansson, and then Chair, Willock, centre forward, Dykes. He's got the. So yeah, it's a possibility. It might strengthen the defence because it's a tough game against Preston, and they're going to come strong. They're going to be flying after their victory, and you're going to have to withstand a bit of pressure. And maybe an extra man in defence might be the way to do it.
Because something's got to change, isn't it, Ian? Like whether it's just remotivating the players, changing system, or changing, tactics for the game. Because this season is in real danger of drifting away into obscurity in it for QPR if they don't arrest this quickly. Now we're talking about all this, going for playoffs and all that, but based on current form, you've got to be looking down rather than up, really.
Yeah, I think with the Championship though is you win 3 games, you're back up there. If Rangers have got a win on Saturday, they've been 6th. They started the weekend in the 6th position. So I'm not. I've seen. If I hadn't seen them do it, I would be more worried. But I know they can do it. I know the players are there to do it. It's just a case of just refocusing and getting them fit. Getting them out there. Because really, let's be frank about it. The players that Mick Beale signed, how many of them are playing regularly? You've got Powell aside. I mean, Tyler, Richards and Roberts, they've barely played, have they? Jake Clark-Sauters, you always think he's not too far away from some sort of calf strain or a hamstring strain. You need to get these guys fit. Hansen needs to be fit. He needs to be playing. When he does play, he's going off injured, so you need to get him right. So I understand.
He just always seems to go like an hour in and he's down. And he's that happens all the time, doesn't it, with him? Which is a shame because he's like you say, he's a really good player when he plays.
But I didn't understand the subs after. I didn't understand taking Willock off. I know he wasn't playing well, but if you want to go more 4-3-3 and have he's ideal for that role. I don't really understand what Paul Hall was doing there.
It's strange on it because it's your best attacking player. It's our best attacking player. You don't take your best attacking player, because it's a poor 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mbappe off against England because he weren't playing well against Kyle Walker in the first half. You don't do it.
You don't do it. No, it doesn't make any sense. And Shadipo he's quick, but he's got no end product. So he's not going to win you a game against a team like Burnley. Yeah, he had a few flashes, added some pace, but he didn't really, it wasn't. He's not better than Chris Willock, is he? So he shouldn't have been come on. I've got no problem with Adoma coming on, just had a bit of experience, something else up top, but you don't take off. Don't take off Chris Willock. I'm sorry, that's not, that's not the way to win. And I think that goal right at half time really killed the game.
Yeah, 100%.
The Matson goal, and it was a magnificent finish. It was, but again, that was far too easy. That wasn't playing the ball out the back, playing it through the middle. Shot, save, follow up the rebound, and again, that if George Thomas is in the team, I'm guessing because he runs around and presses and pushes, and there wasn't enough of that up front. They were just allowed to do what they wanted to do. One to forget, definitely, but that needs to be a lot better, and hopefully Critchley can The bar's very low after that, so things can only get better with him in charge.
I suppose at least Critchley can come in and say, look, lads, that's, the top of the league. They're probably going to go and win the championship. You know what I mean? Let's just put that aside, get back to it now. But Ian, what do you think about the switching the system? I mean, obviously, like I said, Critchley's very adaptable in the terms of the way he works, and he won't. I don't think he'll come in and play 4-4-2 like he did at Blackpool, because that doesn't make a lot of sense with the players QPR have got. But you think a change in system might?
I don't think it'd be a bad idea maybe to just not go for a draw, but be more solid at Preston, because confidence isn't high, and sometimes you just kind of packing the midfield a bit more, or playing 3 centre backs might just make you a bit more solid, and you can go up there and just stop the rot a little bit. Just get if you can get a point up there, you come away and say it's not a good hunting ground for QPR deep down historically. It'll be cold. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be it's going to be hard. So I wouldn't be against that, but just get something on Saturday, and if it means training formation, then do so.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, Critchley was very good at Blackpool at organising the team and making them very defensively solid, but I do think he'll need a bit of time to do that, because you're not going to be able to just change things in a week. So, and like I said, he started when he took over Blackpool really slowly. So, but they can't really afford a slow. He can't really afford a slow start with the way things are going at the moment, because the pressure's already on QPR. So, things don't improve sort of quickly in the short term, then the pressure ramps up even more. So, I think it is important to get some results on the board quickly. And like I say, Preston's going to be a really tough one. So, a point there, I think they'd take it all day long. But I mean, on that, Kev, what are you expecting from the game against Preston? And I think changing personnel from, I mean, it was obviously quite, like you said, an unexpected team selection. So there probably will be some changes. But how do you see this one shaping up?
I think it's a real tough game. After what I've seen of them on Saturday on the TV, they looked strong, quick, aggressive, put the ball forward quick. Not scared to put the ball in the box, and obviously QPR's have had a poor run of form. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes free at the back and goes a little bit solid. And when Ian just says sort of not play for a draw, but sometimes you go into the game and you go solid, and you get stuck in, and then you gain confidence as the game goes on, and then you sort of get into the game, but you can't be going into the Preston game and conceding early, and then you can't be doing that. So go a bit more solid, whether he goes with one more at the back or puts another one in midfield, goes solid in there. Be interesting to see. It's a tough game, and I'm always hopeful and optimistic, so I'm going to go for a 1-1, and I'll take that right now. Take that 1-1 right now.
I think the vast majority of QPR fans would be with you on that. Ian, how do you see this one going? I know you're going up there, so hopefully it's not as bad as it was against Burnley for you.
I think they've got to look back at 2 relatively recent fixtures: Norwich away and Sheffield United away, and just kind of emulate what they did there, where they were solid, where they were up against it for large parts of the game, but they kind of held out. And I'm not going to say comfortably against Norwich, because Norwich could have won that game quite easily, but the game against Sheffield United should be the blueprint of what they need to do away from home, and they've shown they can do that. If you've got, a chair aside, most of those players that play that day are available and should be, relishing. Well, relishing is the wrong word, but you go up there and think, well, it's a tough game, but let's just get back on track. We know what we can do. But I think a lot of that's going to be mindset. If you go there, if you concede an early goal and you're weak and callow, and then you'll get turned over. That was the case at Coventry as well, where they let Coventry dictate a bit and scored relatively early, and that sort of set the tone. Go there, be solid, don't concede early, and if you can, you never know, you might nick a 1-0. No one's expecting them to. Preston probably full of confidence, don't expect them to win. But again, it's Preston. We're not talking about, they're not as good a side as Burnley, and Burnley aren't as good as Fulham were last year. So it's, I'll take a point up there. I mean, if you can get a 0-0 draw, it'll be a long way to go for a 0-0 draw, but I think most people with QPR persuasion would take that.
Is that what you're going for?
Yes.
Your prediction? A 0-0. It's weird, strange team, Preston, aren't they? Because they had earlier in the season they couldn't find the net, but they weren't letting any goals in. I can't remember how many 0-0 draws on the spin they had, but it was something ridiculous. It must have been like 6
1
or
goal
7
in 9 games or something, didn't they?
Yeah, crazy, absolutely mad. But they weren't letting any in either. But they suddenly have seemed to found how to score recently. And like I say, Kev, that was a really impressive performance against their rivals Blackburn on a Saturday, was it? Yeah, Saturday. So they do seem to have found the net recently, which is obviously they're a lot more dangerous than they were at the start of the season. But yeah, I mean, I can't predict the Preston win, can I, as a Blackpool fan? So, and it'll be interesting for Critchley obviously going up there as well in his first game. It's a bit of a, be a hostile one as a former Blackpool manager going up to Preston, So,
will he get a bit of stick, will he, do you reckon?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the rivalry is between Blackpool and Preston is huge. We didn't play each other for quite a while because we were in different leagues, and then obviously we played each other a lot more recently. And always hostile. So as a former,
there's his team talk then. Come on, lads, do it for me.
Yeah. I don't know how that'll go down too well. Yeah, but I think it'd be a tough one for him to as a first game, definitely. But I might go a 0-0 as well, Ian. I think that will be the focus going into the game, is just to keep it tight and keep it solid, and just give him a platform to build on. Going into the busy Christmas period. So, and I do think he'll go for a 3 at the back as well. Actually, I can see him doing that, going Laird, Powell, and then Dickey, Dunn, and Clark Salter at the back. Maybe like Field, Irabunum, and then Willock, Dykes, and not sure who plays in that other position. Really, I mean, I suppose Elias Chair could potentially be back, or would it be a bit?
No, he went back to Boxing Day because there's a third and fourth place match as well, isn't there?
Oh, of course there is. Yeah,
you might get a game.
Third and fourth place match you have to play when you lose the semi-final. Yeah, could. Do you know what? He probably will do actually if they lose to France. So, yeah, I mean, you worry about him as well, don't you, a little bit? Because when he come back from AFCON last season, I think he played like half an hour in the whole tournament, and he weren't really the same, was he, when he came back? So
yeah, he was carrying injury as well going into that, I think.
Yeah. You do worry about like sitting on the bench all that time. Obviously, great experience for him in his country going so far, but he'll obviously be gutted that he's not played a part in it. I'm sure that will be eating away at him, but you do kind of worry a little bit whether it might impact his form as well, given that he's not played football in so long. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw as well. So we're all going for a point. But yeah, I don't know when.
I was thinking, sorry to interrupt, this morning that the year 2022, what a mad year. And so Critchley will be QPR's 4th manager in
yeah.
That's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's just weird how it comes about. Like, when QPR appointed Beale in the summer, I never thought that would mean Blackpool losing Critchley as manager, and I never thought Critchley would end up the year as QPR manager. It's all gone round in a circle, hasn't it? It shows how quickly things can change in football and how quickly things can happen. But
it's definitely been a mixed year for Rangers. There's been a lot of sort of high results and some low results as well. It really has been. I mean, what would you say is your highlight of the year, Kev? on our festive special.
I think the Watford away game. I was at that game in the way, and I thought, I enjoyed that one because I live up here, not far. There's a few Watford fans flying about, so could give them a bit of banter. But yeah, Watford away. And probably worst one, probably that one on Sunday.
Yeah, I think for me it was West Brom at home. I think was.
I didn't go to that. So
that was a really good day.
When Charlie Austin scored the winner.
Weren't great.
Yeah, and I thought the Middlesbrough at home actually, first game of the season, home game of the season. I thought that was a really good day. But my low for me would always be Peterborough at home.
I didn't go to that one.
3-1.
Oh, that was bad.
What
about Cardiff as well? That was bad.
Cardiff.
No, that
around Peterborough was bad.
Around the time of Peterborough, Cardiff, that was also bad.
Yeah.
They should have won, and then Cardiff had like 2 moments in the second half. I think it was 2-1, was it in the end? And they just snatched the win. But yeah, it's weird. And there's some very high points and some very low points.
What a great way to end the podcast.
Listen, hopefully Critchley gets them going again and gets them back on track, because like I said, this season is in danger of sort of slipping away in it if things don't improve quickly. But let's see. Well, I don't know when our next episode will be, because obviously Christmas coming up and busy games. We'll be at games and stuff. And I think Ian's going away, aren't you, Ian? He's going to Australia. He's escaping the freezing cold temperatures of at the moment. So we don't know when our next one will be, but it hopefully won't be too long. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll be back at some point after Christmas, I would imagine. Cheers.